your chance to be ruthless.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Good evening, and thank you for joining me this horrible Tuesday night here. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's been raining all day. It's horrible, just horrible. How are we all doing? I thought I'd have this little chat because I'm actually looking for some direction amongst the channels, because I'm trying to get out of the rut that I seem to be stuck in. For instance, our Sergeant Grumpy channel gets about between 100 and 130 views on our rabbit holes and all-ins. Apart from that one we did about 3 weeks ago that got 800 views, which is great, but really should be hitting thousands by now. So I don't know what to do. And this might sound ridiculous, but I mean, I really enjoyed doing the rabbit hole with Ed. In fact, we had a conversation today about what we're doing next, and I think it'll be pretty interesting because we've got a couple of days to research it. Then we'll be back on Thursday to present it. But the cult over in the other channel, the Cult of UFO, I quite enjoy doing that stuff when nobody's watching it, which is quite disappointing because I put a lot of work into it. And you know, this isn't having a go at you guys because you probably do watch it. But to be fair, the 4 or 5 that are on here just now are probably the people that watch all the time. And I value your opinion more than anyone. So, and of course, some of my regulars, I say regulars, because we normally get between 20 and 30 on a live stream, but these impromptu ones never do great. So if people do watch back, I haven't forgotten about you. I do appreciate you. Hi, Espresso Mechanic, Beats and Tapes, Dread Down Julie, Emma Watts, Frankie, Emma. As I've said Emma twice, that's not a bad turnout for a Tuesday night. Horrible Tuesday night that it is. Where's my sidekick? Profane Truth. My sidekick isn't here. My sidekick only comes on Thursdays and Fridays. I was contacted by an American guy at the weekend to go on his podcast, and I think I'll probably do it. So that should be quite a laugh. I'll let you know when it happens. But I don't know what to do with the cult because it started off really well. It was getting loads of subscriptions because I was putting shorts up with the UFO hearings, clips from it. And while it got plenty of subs to start with, it dries up after that. And then about 10 people watch an episode, or sometimes it gets to about 30, which isn't great. Especially when you've put a lot of work into these things, because you can't make them overnight, you know. I mean, I put one up yesterday, and it took 2 days of editing to put it up in the condition it's in. So there's a lot of work goes into this for very little reward, and I'm not having a go at the people that support me on Ko-fi. Oh, where's my Ko-fi thing? Why is that not here? There we go. So I'm not having a go at the people that do support me on Ko-fi because you guys make the difference. You guys are regulars. You give me donations when I need it. I really appreciate it. And you're the guys that keep me ticking over. Because YouTube doesn't pay at all. I mean, 12 quid I've earned since we became remonetized at the end of December. So 12 quid in, 3 weeks? That's not a great rate of return. That's well below minimum wage, I can assure you of that. So Frankie says, most of the time I'm live, you're working nowadays, you watch catch-up. That's cool. Watching catch-up's fine. I've no problem with people watching catch-up. It's just, I just want people to watch. And I'm not whining about it. I know it's a long, slow, hard process, and it's a question of trial and error to get things right. What I am thinking is, I don't know if I can sustain 2 channels because, to be fair, it was hard enough sustaining one when both Ben and I were working on it. And when Ben started trying to build up his, what do you call it? The Fantasyland review thing. Yeah, the real review. When he started working on that, he really didn't do any work on Jason Descent at that point. And no disrespect, that's just how it was. Because it's quite difficult to build 2 channels. And maybe I think I've bitten off maybe more than I should have. So what I don't know, what I'm not sure about is, should I bring the Cult of UFO stuff back into the Sergeant Grumpy channel and just make it a playlist? It's a thought. You can let me know. You can let me know in the comments, or you can let me know in the chat just now what you think. Because I don't think I want to be running 2 channels. Emma says yes. Yeah, because I mean, I've actually got a playlist here called "The Cult of UFO" with nothing on it. Pardon me. I need an OnlyFans. Yeah. Somehow I think I might be past that, Beats and Tapes. I might well be past that. So I think I might do that. I think I might bring it back in. I think I might bring the cult stuff into here. And then just have separate playlists. Because, you know what? I find it too difficult to concentrate on just one thing. I like doing the rabbit hole. I love doing the rabbit hole, to be fair. I love doing the cult of UFO, although the UFO people are freaking nuts. They are absolutely nuts. There's just there's just so many of them that they're like flat earthers. You know, you can't shift their belief, and you see things that are so obviously balloons. And you know, I don't want to be the guy that pours oil on troubled waters all the time, but it's like, good grief, get a grip. This isn't an alien, you know. In fact, I just tweeted something. I just posted that tweet, and it just came to me. Why are there no black aliens? I just wondered about that. You know, why? Oh, Frankie, can I say I don't like your new background? I like the old one, the real one. Yeah, well, the one with the flags. Oh, what have I got? Oh, I might change that. I can change that. Anytime. At the moment, it's just green screen, but it can be changed. It can be changed on a whim. Can change it to the Christmas office instead. If that's better. But yeah, I can change that anyway. That's not a big deal. Do what suits me best. Thank you, Unmitigated. I think of it. Aliens are either grey or tall with blonde hair and blue-grey eyes. Yeah. Yeah, they do a bit, actually. I'm not going to say the word espresso, but yeah, they do a bit. Yeah, so what is going on in the world just now? It is just gone loopy. Do you not think? I mean, there's just so much happening. Plane crashes. I mean, you saw the Medivac plane go down in Philadelphia, and people were saying that looked like a missile, and yeah, it did. But you got to remember that was on a door cam. The frame rate was shocking, because if you looked at the car that was driving by, it was all jerky. So, you know, a plane travelling at, 300 mile an hour is only going to appear in about 3 frames. And that's probably why it looks so fast. But something really went seriously wrong in that plane. That was weird. It appears that the helicopter thing is pretty much panned out as we thought it had. You know, a tragic accident. It looks that way. And I saw some guys went to the trouble of actually getting simulators, proper helicopter simulator and a proper airplane simulator. And the guys in the helicopter never saw the plane at all. They were looking at the wrong plane, and they never saw the one that hit them. Or they hit, you know, regardless of what happened. Plane crashes are rare and aren't rare. So there's something like 1,200 plane crashes in the US every year. Most of them are light aircraft, but they're not that rare. It's a bit like the rail derailments. Remember when we suddenly thought, you know, this was suspicious because there was so many things derailing, and then we found out there's 12,000 derailments every year in the States. So it kind of puts it in perspective. And plane crashes aren't on the same level, but they do happen. What is rare is 2 planes hitting each other, or, you know, a helicopter and a commercial jet hitting each other. That's very rare. I think you got to go back 2009, I think, the last one or something. Quite a while anyway. For that kind of thing to have happened. Air shows are different, I suppose, because planes do often come into conflict there. There was an auto-gyro and a light aircraft crashed fairly recently, last couple of years, I think, hit each other. So, it's not that sus. These things do happen. And remember after TWA 800 exploded going out over the Atlantic, and we thought maybe it had been shot down by a missile, which wasn't that long after Lockerbie, if I'm right. I might be completely wrong. But TWA 800 blew up over just after it passed Rhode Island or something, and they put it down to dodgy connector on a fuel tank and a jumbo jet. Now remember, jumbo jet's been flying since the 70s. So it's unlikely that, and why for the fuel to explode in the way that it did, the spark would have had to have been in a fairly empty fuel tank. Why did it have empty fuel tanks? It was flying transatlantic. But regardless of that, about a week later, one went down in Long Island. A plane on the way to take off just leaped into the air and then promptly came back down again. So yeah, these things do happen, and it's like the law of threes, isn't it? They always seem to happen in threes. I mean, look at the big ship as well. Remember the big ship that had the pylon in Baltimore Harbour, blocked the harbour, and then there was another one a couple of days later, and people are going, we're under attack. No, you weren't. It was just lack of maintenance and inattentive crews. And these things happen. They really do happen. And, a lot of times people get away with it at the last minute, because they've got an fuck. You ever fallen asleep when you're driving? I have. Not pleasant. And you wake up and you think, whoa, I was asleep. You're still driving, and you pull over and have a little nap, because that's not a good situation to be in. You don't want to be doing that. That's crazy. I've seen that. I've been at crashes where people have fallen asleep. In fact, there was a nurse. She fell asleep after the night shift, Newton Mearns, before they built the motorway. And there was quite a tight right-hand corner, and she went right across it into the guardrail. And a car T-boned her, an oncoming car the other way. And I think it wasn't a survivable accident. And we're pretty sure she fell asleep. And I fell asleep on that same road coming home after a 12-hour night shift. And we'd been held on for a firearms turn or something. So we're basically lying in a field all night with a Mars bar. And I fell asleep on the way down the road. And I pulled into lay-by and had 15 minutes. And then made it home safely. But these things happen all the time, and by the grace of God, there goes you and me. So accidents do happen, and you can't read too much in when they do. You really can't. Thank you, Frankie. I love doing the rabbit hole deep dives as well, and we're going down a rabbit hole on Thursday. Yeah, we are. What do you think of I don't know if you've seen any, but what do you think of the little stories or tales before them? I quite enjoy doing them. I don't want that to sway your judgment. If you think they're rubbish, just say they're rubbish. But I did get some pretty good feedback on them. I think, was it Beats and Tapes? I think he liked one of them in particular, because he kept telling everybody to shut up in the chat. Epic. Thank you, Beats and Tapes. Cheers for it. I like that. I don't think they need to put people offline, because I think what they'll eventually do is just price everything out of our reach. And that seems to be the way that everything's going at the moment anyway. It's just, it's getting ridiculous. And the thing is, everything's getting harder to do. Even driving's getting harder to do. So it's a real pain in the butt. But yeah, I came on seeking direction for where the channel should go. I mean, and do you think that we have? I mean, I spoke to Ed about this last week. I said, should we just go all rabbit hole? And he said he likes doing the all in stuff. He likes it. He finds it cathartic and it gets out his system because he's sitting there. Yeah, Ed works a lot from home, so he's quite on his own a lot. So he sits there and reads the news and doesn't really have anywhere to vent, and he finds them quite good. And I quite like doing the all-ins, so I'd maybe just keep that one going, and then concentrate on the rabbit holes and the cult stuff. For others, I put a little tail up that's a pre-taster for one of the things we will dive into at one point in the Nahanni Valley, the Valley of the Cursed Valley of the Headless Men, I think it's called. That's a nice wee short one. Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to drop the all in and rabbit hole. I don't think we'd ever do that. That is our core mission. I tell you what I was looking at doing, and it's something I've been thinking about for a while. This isn't something that's just come up in the last couple of years. I've been thinking about doing this for, I don't know, maybe about 8 years now and never done anything about it, but I was thinking of doing a kind of leadership course, but basing it on a science fiction series that I particularly like, and using things from the science fiction series to show you how to apply leadership lessons, which I thought might be quite good. If I could sell it, it would be good. And obviously you aren't the market, because this would be targeting corporate people, It's just something I was thinking about. Yeah, so what else has happened? What were you saying? Blasphemy laws by the back door? Yeah. And I just don't understand it. It's like we can see what's happening, right? But it's like they either can't see what's happening, or they don't want to see what's happening, or they can see what's happening and they want it to happen. Because, look at Sweden. 32 bombings in a month. That's more than one a day. That's just crazy. That's not you shouldn't. You should be going all out to cramp down on that and get the people that did it and get them out or get them incarcerated. That's just not acceptable. And the amount of knife crime in London these days, I think it's time to go, it's time to go all in and go back to zero tolerance policing. Because it really cleaned up New York when they did it. I think, was it Giuliani that did it, or was it the guy before him? But they went zero tolerance, and New York changed almost overnight. You get caught broken a window, you got done for it. Nobody got taken off. Everybody get done. Hey, if you're going to go zero tolerance, you have to do that. Everybody gets done. And you know what? If you know that's what's going to happen, if you step out of line, then fine. You won't be moaning, you get treated differently from me, because everybody gets done. You step out of line, you get hammered. And it really cleaned up New York, because it drives away all the bad element. It drives away all the gangs and things, because it can't operate. So why not do that? Just do that across the entire country. Could you got enough cops? You've got cops doing stupid things like putting rabbit suits on and teaching kids how to cross the road. That's not a cop's job. Why'd a cop need to do that? They do some really stupid things. It's great. It might foster good relations in the community, but if you're going zero tolerance, you don't need good relations in the community, because you just hammer everybody, right? The steps out of line. Everybody gets hammered. And the people that don't get hammered, they're like supporting the cops, because suddenly everything gets better. It's just one of these things. The First Minister's already been on and said he will not be coming after the cats. You can't come after British people's pets. You can take their children, but you can't take their pets. Good grief. The British will not stand for their pets being molested. And you know what? I'd be happy if there was a trace of sarcasm in what I just said, but there isn't. Because I think that's pretty much the truth. In many cases, you can do what you like to people, but my God, don't come after the pets. Because the public will go nuts. A deep dive on a book or a movie. Well, I've done a few movie reviews. I don't know that counts. I think I'd like to do a deep dive on Dune, the David Lynch version. Maybe alongside the book, or yeah, I think Denis Villeneuve's version is great technically. Looks lovely, but it doesn't have, there's something that, when you watch a really good movie, it grabs you. It just grabs you, and your attention is focused on it like a laser. You can't move off it because you're frightened to look away in case you miss something, and you've got to watch it again because you will have missed something. And there's very few movies like that these days, but some of them that were made in the 80s and 90s are absolutely brilliant. Things like The Thing or Alien, Star Wars, even. These are brilliant movies, absolutely brilliant. And there were many, many movies that tried to copy them that actually turned out pretty damn good. Pardon me. But yeah. Oh. But yeah. Frankie says the movie's second part is great. Are you talking about Dune? Frankie? It's okay. Yeah. I mean, Denis Villeneuve, and Ben and I talked about this as well. Denis Villeneuve's apparently got a vision of making a movie with no dialogue. And as I pointed out in my Dune review, he was getting close because there was just so much looking going on. I'm trying to lose weight, Emma, but I did lose some hair, so maybe that's helped. I need to sustain the diet. It's just it's difficult at this time of year, isn't it? The weather's crap. Apparently it's to be -3 tomorrow or something up here. So we're going from 11 on Monday to the negative numbers at the end of the week. We'll see how that goes. It's difficult. It's getting motivated, and it's hard. It's a hard life. And sometimes you get a bit down, don't you? And especially in the winter when your vitamin D levels are low, you should all be taking your supplements, Get in there, get some vitamin D down you. Wouldn't do you any harm whatsoever. Not medical advice, just common sense. Yeah, we maybe could do a threesome on a movie or a book. Yeah. Yeah, we could maybe try that. I'll see what Mr. Ben's up to. I don't know if his foot's any better. I haven't spoke to him since when did I last speak? Saturday? I think I spoke to him on Saturday. And he was telling me all about his foot. Which is no reason for it happening. That's a bit strange, isn't it? He's just falling apart, that boy. And this is him off the sugar as well. He's lost weight, which is a good thing because he was getting quite humongous. I don't mean that. Yeah, I do. I just need to find a bigger audience. That's what I need. I mean, I think I'm quite funny, but that's maybe just me. I enjoy the cold when I'm skiing, I must admit. Although it's different if you go to somewhere like Alberta in Canada, which I used to love going to when I had money. The skiing there is brilliant because the snow's so dry. It's absolutely brilliant. You can't even make a snowball because you go like that and the snow just falls through your fingers. It's just so dry. And you don't feel anywhere near as cold. At some points it was down to -20, -30, and then one day it was -40. You felt that. You felt -40 centigrade. That's cold. I'll give you that. But -20, -10 to -20, you can cope quite well. As long as it's dry. You know, if the humidity was up, it would be horrendous. But it's not like here. It's much drier. They don't salt the roads because the snow just blows off them. When you get a hire car or whatever, you get a brush to brush the snow off because it's not like ice or whatever. It's pretty cool. The cars, you plug your car in at night to stop the engine block freezing and the oil becoming solid. So Canada, I like Canada. I used to like Canada. I don't know what it's like now, but it was brilliant. Canada used to be like an America, where people didn't bother you as much and allowed you to take responsibility for your own actions. But that doesn't seem to be what Canada's like now. Looking at it on the news reports and things, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe when you get out of the big cities, Canada hasn't changed much. Much like France. Once you get out of the big cities, nobody's interested in Macron or Europe or whatever. French want to be French. In fact, there's quite a big Frexit mentality in France. They're not great European supporters. You know who they do like, though? Which is strange. They really love the British. When you go to Normandy beaches and things, and Britain's like celebrated because of D-Day and all the work we did in the Second World War. So, the real French, they appreciate what happened. And the thing is, they take their kids along and they show them what happened in the history and that. We don't do any of that shit. Do we? Not many of us, The French kids are brought along and they're shown all that. And French kids are really respectful. I mean, where we lived in southwest France, you would walk out the door in the morning if you were going down to the boulangerie or something to get coffee or bread or whatever. And kids going to school, every one of them would say bonjour as you walk by. Every one of them, without fail. If you're out in the evening, they would, if the kid, maybe 3 or 4 boys would walk by and they'd all go, bonsoir, monsieur, madame, or bonjour, mesdames. They roll monsieur and madame into one word. But it's really nice. It's like going back to the 80s. But Britain's losing it. And France will lose it too because their immigration will spread. And when you look at what happens in history, it tells us what happens, and it's happened before, and it will no doubt happen again. It's just one of these things. Yeah. Walked by a guy the other day and I just nodded and said morning. No response. Didn't even blink. It's as if I'd said nothing. Just no response. Ignorant. Tends to be a certain type of person, though. You can tell when you're walking towards them. This guy was walking towards me yesterday, walking what appeared to be a pony. It turned out to be a dog. I goes, that dog's some size, mate. And he just laughed because he was having trouble holding the bloody thing back. I thought, oof. Don't like dogs like that. I like dogs, I love dogs, but don't like dogs that are built to fight, you know, because we don't need fighting dogs. And I mean, I'm not talking about an Alsatian or a Doberman or something. It's one of those, you know, giant cross. I don't know if it's a pit bull or an XL bully or whatever it would be, but it's one of those kind of dogs, and they're too strong and they're too predatory. You just don't like them at all. And I love dogs. And dogs like me. Usually I've got to fight them off. Yeah. Joey said it's mixed round here. Some respond, others look like you said something terrible. I know, it's like, my God, is the world ending? That man said hello to me. Yeah, people are strange though, aren't they? People are strange. I think you're right, Emma. I think they are. And people will say you can't blame the dog. Well, you can if a dog has been bred specifically for one purpose for God knows how many decades, you know. You can blame the dog. It's like my mate had a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and that was a beast of a dog as well. And it was fine, as long as you weren't black. My God, that dog hated. I mean, dog had never been in Rhodesia. Never grown up with black people. Never hardly ever saw a black person, right? But that dog hated black people. That was just bizarre in the extreme. There was one in the village, and he couldn't walk by the house without the dog going freaking nuts. But I think we all know what those dogs were bred to do. Yeah, and look at South Africa now, taking reappropriating land from white farmers without compensation. Yeah, so it's going to be another Zimbabwe. What a mess! What a mess that's going to be. I looked at some stats this morning, because I was going to start showing stuff about it on Twitter, and I thought, nah, I can't be bothered. But basically, the GDP per capita in Rhodesia in the 80s was about £3,600 per person. And today, in 2023, in Zimbabwe, it's about £900 per person. And what I love about AI, after you've checked it's working, what I love is it says, this is because the population has increased. No, that's not how it works. Because if the population increases, that gives you a bigger labour force. So you should be actually growing quicker, not going backwards. It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, I was watching Dave Allen on YouTube yesterday. He's hilarious. He really is. Forgotten how good he was. I remember my dad used to watch him and used to sit and watch him as well with him. But yeah, he was good. It's good that you can still find this stuff on YouTube, but I would imagine it won't be long until it gets cleaned up and removed, you know. Because they don't like the scent, do they? What am I drinking? I'm drinking a Badger Thirsty Ferret. I shouldn't really be drinking, but I thought I'm going to drink Badger Thirsty Ferret. So, I haven't had a drink since Friday, actually. That was the last drink I had. Right. Well, thank you for this little conversation. I quite like these little conversations. I don't know if I should do them more often. Oh, a neat Glenlivet. I found a bottle of whiskey yesterday. I found a bottle of whiskey in a box. Well, the bottle of whiskey's in a box as well. But the whole thing was in a box that had been packed away in the van because I don't know if you've heard, but the van was quite badly damaged by the storm. So I'm awaiting the insurance to be in contact with me as to what we're doing with it. But I've been emptying the van because initially they were going to take the thing away, and then they said, we don't really have many people around just now up there. Could you just take some photos and send them in? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So we'll see what happens. Glenlivet. Yeah, I'm not a great whiskey drinker, to be fair. In fact, I don't really like whiskey, although when I was up at Highland Park, I was up at Highland Park once, training them on the use of Microsoft Lync. Highland Park's in Kirkwall in Orkney, which is a brilliant place to visit, if you get the chance. It's like going back, well, it's not like going back, it's like being in a Viking town. Everything's Viking. It's all, Norwegian. Well, it's not really Norwegian, is it? It's Danish, I think. But anyway, it's all kind of Viking, and I've all got weird Danish and Viking sounding names. So it's even the churches and things have got like Vikings buried into amongst the Christians. So it's cool. And there's quite a big Danish influence in the town. So pretty cool. But the distillery, Highland Park, is built there, and I was up teaching them how to use Lync, and I was talking to the manager of that place, and he was showing me stuff, like they'd made speakers, Lynn, the audiophile stuff from East Kilbride, which isn't that far from here. But Lynn, they'd made speakers for Lynn out of old whiskey kegs. And then I was saying I confessed to him that I wasn't really much of a whiskey drinker, and he said, neither was I. He says, but I spoke to the one of the distillers, and he made them a Highland Park with a twist of lime and a slice of ginger. And then what he said was, you need to add water to your whiskey to get it to the point where you like it. He said, you don't add ice because you can't measure the ice. So ice is no use. But what the water will do will change it both in taste and aroma until it's to your liking. That's why, apparently, when people are served, I mean, I don't know if they still do it, but they still do it in pubs here. You get a whiskey and they'll give you whiskey in a glass, just the whiskey and a jug of water beside it. So it was quite interesting. But the twist of lime and a slice of ginger, I've tried it and it's not bad actually. I can cope. Where else would you get recipes for ad hoc cocktails? Right. What time is that? I watched a movie last night from 1997 called Gang Related. James Belushi and Tupac Shakur, as well as James Earl Jones was in it as well, and Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid was he had quite a pivotal role in it. But James Belushi and Tupac Shakur were in it, and not long before he got killed, because this was a 1997 movie, and he get killed in 96, so he probably got killed just after he finished shooting it. It was, I'd never seen it before, and I really enjoyed it. It was quite funny, especially as things started to unravel. I won't spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it, but one action leads to another, which leads to another. The next thing you know, you're shooting a stripper through a pillow. But yeah, these things happen. It was quite funny. I quite enjoyed it. So there you go. the night before I watched. I've taken to watch a movie. I made a post on Twitter today. I don't know if you saw it. I don't think I can actually read it out here. Nah, I won't. But go and have a look at my Twitter post that I made today. It's about changing the TV settings to movie mode. But anyway, the night before I watched Stargate, the original movie, and it stands up well. It stands up well. Kurt Russell wasn't great in it. James Spader was brilliant. And, when they found that guy that looked like James Spader to do the series, Daniel, that played Daniel Jackson, that was just brilliant. But yeah, They Live's a good movie, yeah. Is that the first time you've seen it? Frankie. They Live's a good movie. But Stargate is a great movie, it was. I really enjoyed it. And it really stands up well. I might go back and have a look at SG-1 again, because it's a great series. And it does have some attractions of its own. But yeah. So I don't know what I shall watch tonight. I shall pick something. But yeah. So there you go. I think that's enough for this evening. 45 minutes. I think that's more than enough. I didn't intend to be on that long. I didn't want to take you away from whatever you were doing. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll start moving stuff onto the Sergeant Grumpy channel and put it in its own playlist. And we'll see how it goes from there. I think it'll be easier. It'll certainly be easier for me to manage. Because I think I made about 16 videos on... Let me just check. I made about 16 videos or something on... yeah, so... Right, so... Here's the views. Here's the views on the videos. 17. 33. 34. 37. 72. 146. That was Lou Elizondo. 64. 51 and 31. That's pretty low, isn't it? Mind you, videos are hard to judge because they don't necessarily get a great time on Sergeant Grumpy's either, but there's a bigger audience potentially, so I think I'll probably just do that. Yeah, I might get more views, Julian. It's going to be easier to manage in the long run. Having two channels is probably a luxury that I can't see. It's not even, it can't be monetized either. So these get nothing because it's only got 63 subs. So I'll maybe bring them over and see how that goes. Right, that's what we shall do. We shall carry on with Rabbit Hole and All In. Might do more rabbit holey stories that Ed and I can then dig into. Like for instance the Nahanni Valley one that's up yesterday. But yeah, for instance, so yesterday David Grush was put up on the Cult of UFO. So David Grush, Hero or Hoax. It's had 10 views, right? And on the Sergeant Grumpy channel, the Cursed Valley of the Headless Men has had 29 views, So, okay, it's not great, but it certainly had more views than David Grush. So, yeah, we'll give that a shot and see how it goes. I don't do a lot of videos anyway, and I should probably do more on Sergeant Grumpy's because people seem to like them. For instance, the Mouse Utopia one went down well. Even though it didn't get a lot of views, it got some great feedback. What else has been good? Apart from that, it's quite low. 40, 50. Yeah, I just need to hit the right. I need to find the right niche and get the right audience in. Yeah, David Koresh. What, the Wacko guy? Yeah, there's a chance we'll look at him at some point. Yeah, I think we're looking into looking into alchemy or something along those lines on Thursday. It should be quite interesting because there's people involved in that as well. It has been good for you, Frankie. It's been great for me. Yeah. Do you want to play out or do you just want me to end it? Right, what was this? Would Profane say? David Koresh. When people tried to live as Jesus commanded, well, yeah. It was kind of weird, that whole wacko thing, you know. Was there any need for the government to go in like that? No. Why do they do these things? I can understand if you think, or if you've got evidence that people are in actual danger, but I think it was a bit of a stretch, you know. But anyway, yeah, right, okay, let's go. You'll probably be getting the same track that played in, but as always, it's been great for you.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. And I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally